So this class is called Journey Through the Chakras. And the chakras are the word chakra is a Sanskrit word, and it translates in English to meaning a wheel or a circle. And so what that is pointing to is the wheels of light or circles of energy that are like little motors going along your spine. And so we have 7 of them pertaining to your physical body. There are actually more in your spiritual body, but the ones that we're focusing on are the ones that pertain to your physical body. And so each of these wheels seem to govern different stages of life and different aspects of your physical nature. They affect your emotional nature, what's happening in your mental body, and then also how it connects you to your spiritual nature. So they're essentially divided into 2 parts. So the chakras that govern very much your physical nature, and then the chakras that are governing more your spiritual nature. But there are aspects of each in each one. And that's what makes up the wheel.
Like the spokes of a wheel.
Exactly, like the spokes of a wheel, which is what you just said, yeah.
I have a question.
Here, let me give you the...
Oh, really? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, my question is, it's kind of basic, maybe, but how is this information known? Like, that we have chakras, you know, if they're, if they can't be seen. Yeah, who said so? Exactly. I mean, I believe it, I understand it, but, you know, how was it discovered? How is it understood? How is it, what's the basis in fact? Like, how do we know all of this? How did it come to be?
Okay, great. Okay. So the chakra system is one that came through the yoga tradition, and you can find reference to chakra systems both in the Indian history and also in Tibetan and Chinese history. These old images, they're called Tonkas actually, which are kind of like artistic sheets that are depicting different aspects of everyday life. They were drawn. So we're just, you know, playing. We're playing with the information and checking in to see what feels good and right for us, what makes sense. There's no right or wrong in it. And also to offer another take on it, that the ancient mystics, the ancient sages, were able to access wisdom about their subtle nature, their etheric nature, in a way that we aren't practiced in doing so. So through meditation, they were able to intuit and then, you know, share with each other and find that, oh, actually what we're finding is the same. Great questions. And then even in Kabbalah, there's also another energetic map. The Seraphic depicts another map of the energies, and it's described in a slightly different way. So you can put all the information together and see, okay, again, what's useful for me, what makes sense to me, and so on. It's an exploration. We get to play. And so it's a journey. It's a journey for us. Okay, So the structure of the class, each class will have the same structure. So we'll begin, which we haven't even begun yet, we'll begin with what I call a coming to sit meditation, which is about 10 minutes. And that will be to the theme of where we are in our journey. So each meditation is slightly different pertaining to the theme, to settle you in and to prepare you. The coming to sit meditations are to arrive you here, but also to begin to prepare you energetically and alchemically for what's to come next. It all has a purpose, and it's all specific. It's specifically designed. It's not random. Then we will do a little bit of movement pertaining to the energy field, so that by the end of the journey, you're actually going to have a whole chakra supporting movement routine. And I'm probably not going to record it because it's too much trouble for me to change the height of my... Anyway, we're not that technologically sophisticated to be able to do that. So I'll be turning this off to do the movement, and I'll find another way to convey that as I pass this information on. But yeah, so tonight we're just going to be doing movement for the root chakra, but as we journey through, by the end, you'll have this whole routine that you'll be able to refer to and rely on. And then we'll have a little bathroom break or whatever you need. We'll start talking about the details of the chakra so that you can feel that you have a good base and knowledge base around it. We can ask and answer some questions then. And then finally, I'll take you through a guided meditation that is specifically a healing meditation to bring healing around the psycho-spiritual function of that energy center. So again, that's very purposefully designed. And again, it's helping to bring about healing, and then we'll finish with some journaling questions. So you'll have some soul work for the week to do pertaining to that energy center. You're excited? Yes! Okay, any questions before we begin in earnest? Okay, thinking, do I have anything else to say? So the class will be 7 weeks because there are 7 chakras that we're working with. And they basically begin at the base of your spine, as Ben knows well, and then ends at the crown of your head. So it works its way from your tail all the way up to your crown. Yeah, sorry, a lot's happening in my mind. I'm just trying to discern what to say. And so getting back to Laura's question, this is really ancient wisdom. And so somehow, that's also miraculous, right? So somehow, through the ages, it's passed down, and arrived here. It's like, that's pretty amazing, right? It's arrived here in 2017. And actually, getting back to Laura's question, I do really invite you to check this out, because I've also had the question, well, we're evolving though. We're evolving as energetic beings. So really, is this true for the modern human? So be part of that question for yourself and check it out and see if it still makes sense, Okay, sorry, more's coming. So you can get to intuit your energy centers in different ways. You can put your mind there. So as we go through each one, I'm going to just tell you the location where you can find it. So you can just put your mind there and see what impressions your mind gives you in terms of its size, its shape, its direction. You can also put your hand over a chakra, and you can ask for your subtle senses, the energy centers of your hand, to communicate and to sense the energy center that's coming out of the body, and to get a feeling of what that feels like actually with your senses. So you can do that as well. You can use your imagination as a bridge to ask your imagination, your infinite wisdom, the part of you that oversees this whole life, the part of you that probably arrived you in a class like this, has you paying good money to show up to a class like this. So you can ask that part through the mechanism of your imagination, using that as a bridge to show you how it is, like what color is it, what's its size, what direction is it flowing in, and so on. And another way, which we've played with before, is you can use a pendulum. You can use an external tool to see how the energy center is flowing, and that's a really interesting, practical, observable tool that you can use to see how they're flowing. So we're not going to do that in this class, but that's another class that we can play with. Okay, so that needed to come out. So there are different diagnostic ways that you can play with to check out how your own energy centers are doing. Okay, I'm hoping that's enough. Okay, so let's begin with our coming to sit meditation.